It already has 2 concurrent viewers, and we're not even live yet. Yo, what is up, my dudes?
What's up, home dogs?
Yeah, it's your boy.
R
Another
word.
live stream. So normally, or at least my other live stream, I played Minecraft with Luke, but that's not happening today. I mean, I am playing Minecraft, but I'm not playing on our world. I'm just playing on a weird sort of survival world thingy I made and invented. But what this is really about is Anthony and I talking. Anthony is my friend. Yo, A-Dog!
What's up, E-Dog? Are we gonna talk about the death rate today?
No! I mean, maybe.
Dang it.
So Anthony and I are going to be talking about Anthony and I are going to be talking about,
Yeah, in fact, I might actually join you on Minecraft, but I have a server to recommend to you, which is a lot of fun. I promise you're gonna like it. It's basically you can do whatever you want.
is it called 2B2T?
No, it's better. It's total. Full of and developers on it are all jerks. So it's even more fun. They're all like they abuse their power a lot. It's just a lot of fun.
What is it called?
Like if you can grief, but if you get caught griefing, you're like bang, banned forever. It's called Total Freedom, but the IP I'm not sure. I'm not sure what version they're on. Let me go check their website. Which I believe I'm banned from. Because of one single admin who was like, this guy had like anger issues. I'm not gonna say his name, and I'm not gonna say when this happened or why, or how long it lasted. It was because I don't know. I feel like he's gonna find me. It's really weird.
Like, I want to be, we're the Blar.
I don't even know its gender. Am I just assuming it's gender? Forgotten because of one revealed by archaeologists. Huh.
Okay, so currently there's one other person watching. I'm just checking it real quick.
Yo, what's up, one other person watching?
Yeah, it could also just be YouTube's default viewer. Because it also shows it to you on, like, your own account, so you can see how it's going, kind of. So it could be that.
Yeah.
Anyways. So yeah, Anthony and I have had like 5 different topics planned for today. And I'm just going to be playing Minecraft the entire time. And, I mean, for now we have 5 topics, but we actually have something really special planned for next episode. But we're going to save that for next episode, so be sure to tune in, guys. So, Anthony, would you like to do the honors of announcing the first subject matter that we are going to be discussing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. We're gonna update. We're gonna give an update on the quarantine.
Oh yeah. So Anthony, how are you doing on about the quarantine? How are you doing
Well,
wise and stuff like that?
having a little bit of existential dread. Worrying about
Do continue. Sorry, guys. Please do continue. Hello.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's nothing really, nothing.
You're not gonna,
Nothing much else to say. Basically, the point is
there's no nut.
some anxiety, but I have
What?
I've actually been so calm recently.
No, you
Just
haven't. Sorry.
so calm and just chill out of nowhere. I think it's because I'm been really like tired, which is really weird because I've gotten enough sleep. My sleep schedule's just been off. So I've been really tired, so I've been really calm all day long, which is nice, but at the same time there's still some anxiety. So
I see. But like, what is this anxiety about?
well, just general anxiety. You know, I get the feeling of anxiety all the time, uneasiness about things that you can't control without actually knowing the root of it. My mind just makes up things for me to worry about without makes up things for me to worry about that are impossible to prove wrong. So it leaves me pondering them.
Have you ever heard of like alien hand, where like it's like a syndrome where like people say that they can't control their hands, like their hands have like a mind of their own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's called a spasm.
No. I mean that is one thing, but there's also actually something called alien hand. There's been like reported cases where people say their hands have tried to like choke them and stab them and kill them and stuff. It's a mental disorder where like things
Well,
happen.
there is a split personality disorder. Maybe that's the same sort of thing, just manifesting physically. So, or maybe is there a link between those people and suicidal people? Maybe it's an alter ego. Their subconscious, maybe.
Yeah, that's what they're looking into. But anyways, is that like, do you have like alien hand for your mind? Like your mind is separate
No.
from your other mind? Like you have
No, it's all me.
and like one of them just comes up with these terrible things for the other one to worry about.
Yeah, I would say there's two of me up there.
That's, I mean, I don't know if I'd call that worrisome, but that's kind of worrisome.
Mhm. Yeah, one of them's just like you know,
Excuse me.
you have a
Yeah,
disorder.
that's why I love having these live guys. Oh, there's
Mhm.
two people watching. Oh wait, that's just me and someone else. No. Yeah, there is someone else watching. Hello, my other viewer. So personally,
I have no idea who you are.
yeah,
Honestly, you could be like.
neither of us do. I mean, for all we know, maybe you're a robot, but I don't think you are. Anyways,
Yeah, because robots are really interested in 13-year-olds having podcasts at, what time is it? 9? It's actually exactly 9.
well, there's like this thing. It's called like a latency. It's like a latency with the podcast. So to the
Yeah,
people who
but
are
did you
watching this, we
notice-
just said this
did
is
you
actually
notice-
9 when it's like 9:05 or something.
Yeah, did you notice, though, that it is the 3rd month, it is the 30th of the 3rd month, and it is 9 o'clock, which, 3 times 3 is 9, so 9 divided by 3 is 3, and,
Yeah, it's 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. That's kind of...
yeah, and there are
kind of-
10, and there are 10 people in our class group chat, and 20 plus 10 is 30.
Why 20?
I don't know where I'm going with that.
Well,
And it's about to be 9:03. Maybe I'll take a screenshot just for the novelty of it, because you know
mine
the.
says 9:02.
Hmm.
I mean, mine says 9:01 right now.
That means the clock on your computer is.
Maybe your computer clock is wrong. How do we know who's
I
wrong
was-
or not?
I thought you would stop me.
Anyways, but as far as the quarantine goes for me, I was having a really fun time originally, but like I'm surprised to say this, I'm actually starting to get tired of video games, and I'm losing my mind here, man. It's like I have good video games on my desktop, which is what you guys are seeing right now, but I can't use this then during the day. I have to use my laptop, so and like do schoolwork on there and stuff. And like, I can't play video games, man. And like, you guys may be thinking, oh, Ethan, why would you play video games all day? Just do your work. I don't have any work to do. I finished it all. I've never been so
Yeah, well, I have
sad
work to
about
do.
having all my work finished.
I have
I'm
work to
literally
do.
purposely procrastinating just so I'll have something to do tomorrow.
I've never actually thought of doing that before. I just I don't like to have things hanging over my head. I want to do things as soon as I can, but at the same time, I have other things that I'm more interested in doing, which are actually, they're gonna serve me better in the long run. Like, I don't know, writing a book about mental illnesses, or maybe trying to um frick.
Dude, watch your profanity.
I'm sorry. There's another face in my window. That
Oh,
thing's really creepy.
that's me. Can you open your curtain a little wider? No, I'm kidding. Okay. No, but in all seriousness.
I was gonna. Sorry, I was gonna say. I said other things to do, like writing a book, and then I was gonna say, getting my high school education. Now,
Actually in high school.
yeah. I'm 13. I'm actually. I'm not. I'm not just rounding. I'm actually officially 13. Tomorrow,
Oh, yeah. Luke told
which
me
I.
that your birthday is soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually shouldn't.
Maybe just a quick tip. Maybe you shouldn't tell strangers on the internet your exact date of birth.
Yeah.
Cause like don't they like ask that like a doctor's office? They're like, "Yo, what's your date of birth?" So we know it's actually you, and they can like do the math, right? Cause if you turn 13 tomorrow, blah 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 blah, they can like do the math and figure it out, and they can like.
Well, maybe there was just a really stupid stranger that didn't know they could do the math, and then you just told them.
No, but I didn't tell them anything. I didn't say anything. I'm just saying that they could use it. So like maybe you shouldn't do it. Maybe you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, maybe we should just delete this. Delete this podcast.
I can't. I can delete this part in the long run, possibly. Look, but either way, let's get back to the podcast. So yeah, that's kind of our update of how the quarantine is going between us. I'm bored out of my mind, and Anthony's out of his mind in general, it seems. So, what's next on the list? A-Dog.
Mhm.
A-Dog has the list, so that you guys can watch my epic gameplay.
That would be Flat Earth Discord servers, which isn't my idea.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I know, right? So, we're not going to talk about specifically Discord servers today. I don't want to spoil too much, but in the future, you guys are going to see some fun things on Flat Earth Discord. But today we're going to be talking about Flat Earthers and why honestly they're pretty dumb. So first of all, let's address the elephant in the room. Flat Earthers, we really need to address the fact that Flat Earthers would have to have some motivation for doing this, or Flat Earthers are saying these governments do this. These governments would have to have some sort of motivation for doing this, right? Hello?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking to the viewers. Yeah, definitely.
No, we're like.
Also, I have a server ready, but before you go on, I suggest that you make a new Discord account because if you no, it's a Discord server.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should talk about this outside of the podcast. We are live right now, Anthony.
I know, this is perfectly fine. We can say this.
No, I know, but I'm saying that like the viewers don't want to see this. They want to see the podcast. I'm just saying maybe we should talk about it after.
No. Okay. I'll type it in your DMs because you won't let me. Okay.
Anyways. So yeah, the elephant in the room is the fact that they're really. Why would they say that like the governments and stuff they say that the governments make this stuff up, but why would they do that? What motivation would these governments have what would they have to gain from making everyone believe the earth is actually a sphere? Did you got an answer for that?
I didn't hear what you said. I'm typing.
Excuse me. I said what motivation would would these governments supposedly have? What motivation could they possibly have to make us believe that the Earth is flat?
I don't know if it's the government doing it though.
No, but that's what they say that, like, that's because NASA's a government agency and they always say that NASA's like doing stuff.
Oh, what evidence would they have to lie to us, you mean?
Not what evidence, but like what would they have to gain from it? Why would they ever want to lie to us? So how would this? I could see about a topic that might actually make people
Yeah, they have a lot of stupid ideas. Like they're the same. They're the same people who believe that we didn't go to the moon, which is just ridiculous.
well,
And
what
they
people-
also
yeah.
they
Yeah.
also believe that the sun is just a couple 1,000 miles off of the Earth's surface, and that it rotates like a spotlight. But that's ridiculous. Because if a rocket with astronauts in it takes off in a specific direction, and they didn't predict beforehand where we're actually assuming this is real now, and it's ridiculous. But theoretically, if they took off in their
Or
rocket and
by
they
their
didn't
logic.
and they didn't beforehand predict where the sun was going to be, because it would have to be moving fast if it were like a spotlight and it were that small, and they didn't predict where it was going to go beforehand, they would actually have a chance of just running directly into the sun because it's so small and it wouldn't disintegrate them from a distance. So they would just, because it would have to be really small to only be a couple thousand miles from the Earth's surface
Yeah.
and not kill everyone.
Yeah, and explain solar eclipse. I mean, if you're a flat earther and you're watching this, please, we actually really want you to explain, or at least I love having like debates like this. Explain how would a solar eclipse happen if that was true? I mean,
Oh,
look
they,
look at this sun, guys. This looks like a spotlight, but that's because it's a digital sun. It's a video game.
Yeah,
Isn't it
they
a
say
video
that the moon is like also directly above the Earth. So instead of the Earth projecting a flat line, like a flat disk, thin line onto the Earth, like it would if it were more to the side, it projects an actual crescent shadow, a curved shadow, which makes it look like it doesn't make any sense, and none of their arguments make any sense. They're
So one
Oh,
thing, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Apparently, their new argument for gravity is not that the air around the object is less dense, which didn't make sense in the first place. Now, so I remember first hearing when I first learned about this that they believed that the Earth was completely stationary and the whole solar system and the whole galaxy was completely stationary, and that there's like nothing outside the galaxy or something like that. Now they believe that the whole solar system is constantly accelerating upwards at x miles per hour, and there's no such thing as an hour in space anyway. There's not really the same sense of time, but anyways,
Yeah.
let's take that. They believe that it's doing that, which would make the things on its surface
They believe that the whole universe is. Oh, they believe the Earth is
downward.
doing. Yeah, that would. I mean. But why is it doing that? The thing is about the science that humans are giving. It's like a very valid. I don't know where these zombies are coming from. I'm just gonna. The thing is about the science that the humans are like humans that these other people are giving. Is it it always has like a reason. Like gravity happens because it's one of the laws of physics. That's how gravity works. But like
Yeah, and Einstein
like-
explained his whole theory for gravity. These days, people say, "Oh, we have no idea how gravity works," and generally, and I say generally, they know how it works, and it's all thanks to Einstein. But if his theory of relativity is correct, which they have applied it to multiple things, and it has turned out to help us a lot, which would generally mean that it is correct. Because if it were just false and miscalculations and stuff like that, then it wouldn't be applicable to anything.
Yeah,
But
of
it is.
course.
So that would mean, by association, that his theory for gravity is probably true to some degree. And they've, not to mention that they've detected gravitational waves. They've actually detected these. So, it's just mind-boggling how they just totally deny this, and I don't know how they expect people to just accept these whole new ideas that not only are archaic, but also have no evidence behind them. And if they try to come up with any evidence, it's also archaic and childish and coming from someone who doesn't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know if archaic would be the right word. I mean, I guess because like they did used to believe that like that the sun is the center of the galaxy.
Yeah, but they didn't believe that the Earth was flat, and even it all the way back to the Greeks,
No, yeah. No,
the
actually,
ancient Greeks knew
like
that the
even
Earth
the
was flat.
ancient Indian tribes, cause like if you look like Asia and all that, those are all developed before like all the European tribes. If you look at those, even way back then, they were some of the first people to confirm that the Earth was flat. I mean that
Yeah,
that the Earth
and
is
they have.
round. Sorry. That the, they were the first people to confirm the Earth is flat. No. Okay. No, but yeah. So like, it dates back, man. It dates back.
Yeah,
And
just
so
like your
it really
grandmother.
makes.
Lol.
No, okay. Okay. But yeah, it really doesn't make. I cannot fathom how these people could possibly think that they have good ideas. I
Yep.
mean, no offense to them, but offense to them. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa! I don't want a virus. I don't want a
What are you
virus.
doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just trying not to look up on this AT&T search engine, which we somehow have now because we have AT&T internet now.
Well, what are you looking up?
Oh, I'm looking up Discord.
So why are you saying, whoa, 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 I don't want a virus?
Oh, because I just didn't recognize it. I just don't recognize that search engine. So, and it looks familiar. It looks just like Internet Explorer. So I was like, oh my god, because I used to use Internet Explorer on my sister's laptop, and I would give her viruses.
I'd just give them to her. It was like a little thing we had going on. I would give her a virus. She would give me a thank you card. I would give her another virus. So it would go back and forth.
Thank
No,
you,
okay.
card.
Yeah. Like she'd be like really thankful that you gave her that virus. She'd be all excited.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna make a new Discord account.
No, you're not.
It's an excuse me.
I said, no, you're not.
No.
Oh, there it is. Sorry. So, but yeah, back to flat earthers. I mean, I can't imagine what's going on in their head. Like, what could be so off that makes them think that the earth is flat. But you know what? Now, the thing is it's kind of frightening, though, because sometimes if you talk to one, they'll give you evidence. And, like, when you, at first, when you hear that evidence, it actually sounds like actual evidence at first. But then, of course, you listen again, and then you realize, oh, no, this is a bunch of hooey. But, like, it's very frightening.
So I'm not.
Sometimes they'll give evidence that's, like, it makes you actually think for, like, a slight second, maybe they're right. And then you realize that that's crazy and you're crazy, and that they're crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna not I am not gonna give away the name to my one viewer who has, I don't know, a 1 in a billion chance, no, well, 1 in 100 million chance of being a flat earther. I'm not gonna give the username of my new Discord account. And I'm also gonna download a VPN and turn it on just because I'm extra paranoid about these people who are gonna be like angry if I say the Earth isn't flat on their server.
I don't know about the VPN thing. In fact, I wouldn't, because
Well,
VPNs are more. I mean, unless you really know what you're doing, a VPN can be more trouble than good.
what do you mean, dude? You ever heard of UVPN?
Oh, that one. That one
That's
is
like
a
the
terribly
friendliest
good one.
software ever created.
It's really not. It seems
Oh
like
yeah,
it
it
is, but
is.
you use it on a Chromebook.
What do you mean they're
That's
gonna
why.
give you viruses through your encrypted network?
I don't think you understand exactly what I'm saying here. First of all, you're using a Chromebook, so if you use a
No, no,
UVPN.
I'm on my desktop right now.
Oh, okay. But yeah, UVPN doesn't do anything malicious. It just does really annoying stuff. And also, it doesn't really work that well. If someone was determined enough to actually it's one thing using it at like. If someone was actually determined enough to like try and find your IP address and all that, and try to find out where you actually live, or something like that, or like try to actually give you a virus, then UVPN is not going to do anything. But if you're
I'm
just
gonna
trying
give
to
you a virus for
unblock
sending me
websites,
this
or
man.
like make your Discord place, if someone asks your location, make your Discord location look somewhere else, then yeah, that's the place to go.
All right, Professor.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
That was
Okay.
sarcastic.
Okay, so what's next on the list? What's next on the list? What's next on the list? What's next on the list?
Oh well, we're still doing the flat Earth trolling, but I'm in a
Yeah, but that's
maybe
next
we
week.
can talk.
No spoilers. Okay, so guys,
We
next
can
week we're gonna do a very fun thing on Discord. That's all I'm gonna say so far.
we can talk about GMOs for now.
Oh yes. So to my one viewer, who is probably just myself. In fact, I'm almost 100% certain it's myself. But it said 1 a second ago, and now it says 2. So maybe it's not myself. Are you me? Anyways, so
I don't know.
to whoever's watching, who's possibly me, um, do you think that like organic food is always better? Are you one of those people? Because today we're gonna tell you, at least in my opinion, you are
No.
completely incorrect.
For dinner. See what you want to eat.
All right, thank you.
In my opinion, kind sir or ma'am, you are completely incorrect. So, the thing is, and there's a
Wait,
whole
did they
video-
answer?
No, no one answered.
Oh, dang
I
it.
told you, it's probably just us.
Yeah, but I'm not on I'm not on the live stream.
Yeah, so that's why it's probably just me.
So we only have one viewer.
Oh, no, we don't. I'm spamming it. I'm spamming it. I'm sending it to every chat I know about. I'm just sending it to everybody.
Yeah. I'll be back in a couple. Hey.
Hey. Oh, we have 3 viewers. Hello, our latest viewer. So, welcome to the podcast. So, this is Anthony. Me and my friend Anthony. We're gonna call him A Dog for the purposes of this video, and we're
Yeah.
discussing different topics. And so we've already discussed a couple topics, and now we're on the topic of GMOs. So, to my one viewer, in the description of this video or of this live stream, you should see a Discord link. And according because of YouTube's guidelines, if you say that your video is made for kids, you are not allowed to have comments or chat. So go to that Discord link and answer me this question, please. Just click at mention us. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying like this. Okay. And my question for you is: are you pro GMO or anti GMO? If you don't know what GMO is, it's like genetically modified. So like you have organic and then you have GMO. So do you think that GMO is bad and that we should like avoid it at all costs, or do you think it's like really good and we should totally use it because it's a great tool? So even if you don't answer, we're still going to talk about it. So Anthony, what's your opinion on this matter first? I'm going to ask you yours.
Well, we know objectively that there's nothing wrong with them.
I mean, can't argue with that. No, I'm kidding. No, but but why? But why, Anthony?
Because we are GMOs, so yeah, it doesn't make any sense to say that GMO food is.
What does that even mean? What does that even
Okay.
mean?
So, the most popular way to to genetically modify something, at least until we got laboratories and we were able to do it forcefully through science, was to selectively breed it. And it's still the most simple way.
You don't selectively
It's just
breed humans, though.
Natural selection is our form of selective breeding. That's what we choose the partner with the most desirable traits, and
So
through natural selection.
That's not
That's
GMO,
how we evolve.
though. That's
That is the same thing. So that
that's the
that
same
is
thing, but technically that doesn't qualify as GMO. When people say
that
GMO,
is genetically modified, because what we do when we selectively breed plants or animals is we breed them with each other with the most desirable pigs or cows or prettiest birds.
with the most desirable pigs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the same. That's basically the same thing natural selection is with humans, and that's what natural selection is with all other animals in the wild. Khan Academy team. Oh, okay, never mind.
What? Okay.
Oh, it's some from Khan Academy.
Yeah. Alright.
So, yeah, there's not much else to it. I mean, that's really, I feel like that's really all anyone needs to know. And
But that's the thing.
If
When people
you,
say genetically modified, they don't mean just selective breeding. Selective breeding falls under normal farming techniques. When people say genetically modified, they mean like with pesticides or like chemicals or stuff like that. That is something I do want to talk about, is pesticides. The word pesticides just sounds so disgusting. Like when you say that word, you
Well,
don't think of a nice
side.
thing. Just the word
Pest-
pesticide itself makes you think of like a bad thing or like a disgusting thing. Pest means a bad thing or a disgusting thing. Something.
Well, yeah, I mean,
pestering
pest-
you.
Yeah, pest means something you don't want in your crops, and then there's side. So to get rid of the thing that you don't want on your crops,
Yeah.
Gaming
Gaming Beaver 77. Yes, welcome to the podcast, Gaming Beaver
Yeah.
77. What response do you have? We're listening.
Who is?
Hello. I hope you're enjoying so far. I hope you are enjoying so far. So to keep the quality as high as possible and make sure you can actually really tell what's going on, I have it set to high latency on YouTube. So our oh, thank you, Gaming Beaver 77. Do you? So you're listening? Are you listening? On GMOs. So Anthony, this is in case you're on the Discord right now, the server, right, Anthony? Well, either way,
I'm
Anthony.
sorry. What did you say?
So on the server, we actually have a fan. His name's Gaming Beaver 77.
Yeah, I see him. Yeah.
So, Gaming Beaver 77, you are pro GMOs, and we can get behind that. So that's what I want to talk about. So the word pesticide. So we were talking about the word pesticide and how the word pesticide itself sounds really bad. But now I get to the point of the argument, which is that pesticides are, at least at first, they were a really good thing. So pesticides, in case you don't know what they do, is they kill stuff like fleas. If you've ever heard like vermin, if you ever heard someone say you're like vermin, I'm pretty sure vermin was like an old word that they used for a certain type of bug that would infect their crops and would start eating it. You have like flies, different animals that would come in the night and eat their crops. That used to be a large problem, and that would make crop sales, of course, tank. Because that's your
Yeah.
Minecraft user.
What? So what people don't like?
Anthony,
So they
let's move to the server real quick though for our friend Gaming Weaver. He said he likes to stream, and he said he wants to. He said he wants to kind of join in. So if let's get in the server real quick. Hello?
I'm afraid I can't get in the server.
Why not?
Because the version doesn't want to load.
The version.
It's stuck at a certain file. It just doesn't want to progress. I have two friends who kept on calling each other a gopher and a beaver.
Okay, Anthony, we're gonna make a. Oh no, I didn't mean the. We're gonna make like a small group call since you can't join the server. So let's just. And Gaming Beaver.
My parents are watching The Dumbest Show.
Okay, so Anthony, were you talking about the Discord server or the Minecraft server?
The Flat Earth Discord server.
No, not that Discord server. I'm talking about the Discord server that we have. The one that we're using to chat with Gaming Beaver.
I don't follow.
The CME server. The one that we're hosting our podcast questions on.
What about it?
Yeah, Gaming Beaver wants to join us in the server voice channel. He wants to join the podcast as one of our first viewers.
I'll be right back. I have to get my hammer.
What? Okay. Well, Gaming Beaver, if you're listening to this, yeah, so... Hey, I don't know what my friend is exactly doing, but Gaming Beaver, I don't know if this is gonna work out. Because, I can't... We'll talk about it next time, Gaming Beaver, but feel free to continue listening. But about joining the podcast, I don't think we're gonna be able to do it today. Anyways, back to GMOs. So the thing is, we're gonna put... I'm gonna... So there's like a whole video actually talking about this that another YouTuber did. That's really cool. It talks about a lot of specific cited evidence. But I mean, just talking about it from my point of view, I can't recall off the top of my head any studies that have shown bad things, or at least what it was originally used for. So originally, GMO crops would die a lot because of bugs and pesticides and not pesticides. Because of things that pesticides prevented. So then we invented pesticides, and suddenly the crops stopped dying because now we had pesticides to stop the things that were killing the crops. But it didn't really... From there we started using pesticides a lot, and we started engineering them a lot. And eventually, especially during, I think it was World War I, when they started discovering radioactive materials and things like that, they actually started testing that out on crops, and they were blasting many different crops with radioactivity and seeing which mutations would actually be good in crops. And so that's when the term genetically modified began to come about, which and that's how it got such a bad connotation to it, because genetically modified didn't mean protecting it from bugs and things that would normally infect it. Instead, now meant bombarding it with radiation until it fit something to our liking. And then also, if you search online, there's tons of pictures that show like freakishly large crops. And
yeah, that's in Chernobyl.
Yeah, freakishly large crops and things like that are supposed to show like bad effects. They're supposed to show like bad effects of GMO plants, but the thing is that's not what our crops look like today. Now, it depends on what brand you buy, but for most brands, a genetically modified crop is going to have a corn cob the size of your head. They can't even sell that. I mean, even if you say, even from a non-ethical standpoint, they can't sell that without people obviously not wanting to buy it because it's huge. So, what GMOs normally used for today is, and I'm no expert on the subject, so take this with a grain of salt, but what they're normally used for today is simply to make crops grow in different seasons and to make them slightly bigger and slightly healthier. And also, you'd be surprised how many different things are genetically modified that you might not know about. For example, most different kinds of apples. Gaming.
Well, can I just throw it out there?
Nice name change. We still can't access there's things going on my friend's side. You can't access anything else. I don't know how he's actually talking to me, but it's happening. I'll sort it out with him. We'll see if we can do it for the next stream. Sorry, man. Orwell, man.
So I just want to throw it out there that there's no such thing as a fruit or a vegetable that is not genetically modified.
Yeah, and it really does loop back to that argument, which is that to a certain extent, everything is genetically modified. And the thing is, and then, but the thing is, you can't only use these arguments. Someone can make an argument. Someone can make a counter argument that the arguments that we're giving are all pro GMO, but there's nothing that necessarily disregards their belief in organic food. So if you only use these arguments, it's painting a picture that GMO is good, but organic foods have no adverse effects. So we also need to address that issue. And I want to say that organic foods can have adverse effects. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, viewers, and I want you to answer, at least yourself. You don't have to tell us, but answer it to yourself honestly. Do you hate it when you find an apple at the grocery store that has like a bruise in it? Or like,
yeah, that's annoying.
Or like a fruit that's really small or like not ripe when it's there. Like little things that are like little imperfections with your fruits. Do you like not like that? Because like personally, I don't like bruises on my apples. I mean, I'm a huge apple fan in general, but like the bruises feel really weird and icky to me. But either way, you probably don't enjoy that. That is what GMO prevents. Organic foods also, they say that they don't use pesticides on organic foods, and normally they actually don't. But without pesticides, you also get tons of bugs and things like that landing on your food. So even though you can't think of it one way as being no pesticides, even though one way to think of it is that there's no pesticides, another way to think of it is that you're exposing it to all these different bugs and germs and like bacteria and things that that pesticides protect it from. And there's more. A lot of people will compare this to like the way people make animal farms. So like and the way people use antibiotics in animals. And so I want to make sure we get this straight real quick before we continue. There is a huge difference between genetically modified crops and genetically modified animals, or like animals that are being fed large amounts of antibiotics.
Well, antibiotics don't necessarily modify the molecular genetics of the animal, but
it's a completely different issue though. You can't compare the two.
Yeah, exactly. But so I fail to understand why people are so terrified of GMOs, because one, it's a revolutionary technology which allows us to not only preserve food for longer, but also get it to impoverished places. And two, have you ever okay, take this as an example. We are constantly, and you know this, but we are constantly developing cancer cells, and our body's constantly destroying them. And when there's a very high chance that there are many on just your lips. And when you lick your lips, you're literally ingesting cancer by chance some of those cancer cells. It doesn't hurt you. They're mutated. They're genetically modified. It doesn't hurt you though. So I know that's a small number of actual organic matter that has been genetically modified that you're ingesting, but it's the same principle. So people are afraid of eating food when there's no such thing as organic food in the first place. I mean, the word organic in definition, I mean, we're organic beings, there's organic matter, but organic food in the modern day definition.
Hello, if you are watching this, sorry, just real quick, if you are watching this right now, you should definitely close it and you should definitely reload the page, because I have just turned on the stream chat. So definitely reload the page so that you can actually use that chat.
Alright.
And I'll try my best to to answer any questions or anything like that. Anyways, but yeah, but then there's also something else we definitely can't ignore though is there are, and we can't stay oblivious to this. There are adverse effects to using certain GMOs. Certain GMO plants have, or certain. The thing is, GMOs and pesticides are often conflated, and GMOs tend to actually not have much of any sort of adverse effects. There are people who say they lead to cancer, but there's no scientific evidence to that. However, if you do want to consider a pesticide if you want to put that under the whole category of GMOs, then there are adverse effects to pesticides.
A pesticide is a chemical.
Some pesticides do have adverse effects. That's another thing, though, is if you ever watch one of these arguments that says that GMOs are terrible and pesticides are terrible and all that, if you ever actually watch one of those arguments, sorry, I'm just checking the chat real quick.
Sorry. We can get in a call with Gaming Hedgehog because I'm able to do that now. Also, I wanted to say I feel like people are overreacting with the whole pesticide thing because it's common sense. You wouldn't drink acetone or inhale a toxic chemical or overdose on, I don't know, Motrin or drink paint thinner. It's the same principle there. If you think something has high levels of pesticides, then don't eat it. But we can start. I'm about to start a call with Gaming Hedgehog.
Oh no, I just got on the server voice chat. Hello.
Yo, what's up, gamers?
Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, we know who you are. I just heard your name in the background.
Haha, get set up, Ethan.
No, I honestly thought that would happen.
That's because you're a thought.
Well, I mean, we still have watchers, technically. I mean, if I'm looking at the views, we have 4 people watching right now, so it's Jack, Lion, me, and me. So that's pretty cool. Anyways,
yep.
But yeah, the whole thing with GMO, with the whole thing with pesticides, the thing is there actually have been studies that have shown adverse effects that come from pesticides. But then another thing you have to consider is good things that come from them. There's a lot of things to weigh out when you make this argument. And to make a long story short, most GMOs aren't bad. And to quickly close this off, because this argument's lasting a lot, and we have some other topics we want to get to. To quickly close this off, most things that'll say they are organic, like on the wrapper and all that, will actually have pesticides. So slight amounts of pesticides have been used in everything. Even if something says it's organic, no pesticides, there are pesticides normally used in it.
Frick.
Hold on a second.
What's happening? Hello?
Hello?
Okay, what's happening? Is there anyone that we don't know that's actually watching this?
I have no idea. The other one could be Jack, or it could be like, I don't know, Alex or Luke. But if not, somebody else. So that's creepy.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, so guys, it's getting really late, and we're gonna have to about wrap it up right here. So we're gonna have to we're gonna hopefully continue this sometime, and review our other topics. Thank you for watching, Lion and Jack, and whoever else is watching. So
That's
yeah, basically Lion and Jack.
That's a bruh.
So thank you for watching, and we're gonna have to wrap this up right here. So we're gonna continue this some other time.
Thank you for watching.
Hope you enjoyed. This is gonna get uploaded onto the internet.
Retarded.
He just had to say it. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.